never believed the stories people told about working alone at night. I used to think they were just things people made up because they got bored. A way to make a normal job sound more interesting. But after what happened during my night shift at the facility, I understand why some people refuse to work alone after midnight. The strangest part about those nights was how normal everything felt at first. Every shift started the same way. At exactly 3 a.m., I would walk through the empty halls with my flashlight in one hand and my radio clipped to my shirt. The building was huge, the kind of place where your footsteps echoed long after you stopped walking. The machines never fully shut down. There was always some distant humming, some fan running, some pipe making a strange clicking sound. And above everything was the buzzing of the fluorescent lights. That sound got inside your head after a while. When you spend hours alone in a building with no voices, no conversations, and no movement, your mind starts playing tricks on you. You begin looking over your shoulder for no reason. You start wondering if that shadow at the end of the hallway moved, or if you just imagined it. The only place that felt even slightly normal was the old break room. The vending machine in there had become part of my routine. Every night around the same time, I would buy something small. A drink, a snack. Anything to break the feeling that I was the only person left in the building. That night was no different. I walked into the break room, tired after hours of patrol, and pressed the button for a bag of chips. The machine started making its usual noises. The motor turned, the spiral moved. I waited for the snack to drop. But instead of hearing the usual metal sound, I heard something hit the tray. Something heavier. Something different. It wasn't a bag of chips. I opened the bottom compartment and reached inside. The second my fingers touched it, I knew something was wrong. I pulled my hand back and looked down. A tooth was sitting in the tray. A human tooth. A large molar. There was still blood on it. For a few seconds, I just stood there staring. My first thought was that someone was playing a prank. But the more I looked at it, the less that explanation made sense. It didn't look old. It didn't look like something that had been sitting there for weeks. It looked fresh, like it had come from someone moments before. I stepped away from the machine and tried to convince myself there was a logical answer. Maybe someone had broken in. Maybe someone had hidden something inside. But then I noticed something. The vending machine was sealed. The only way something could get into that tray was through the inside mechanism. Someone would have had to open the machine. I went straight to the security office and checked the access records. The break room area had cameras. The doors had electronic logs. According to the system, nobody had entered that section of the building for hours. No employees, no maintenance workers, nobody. I was still trying to understand what I was looking at when I heard it. A sound coming from behind the vending machine. Scratching. Slow and steady. At first, I thought it was one of the cooling fans. But then it happened again. Scrape. Pause. Scrape. Like something was dragging across the metal. I moved closer, holding my flashlight toward the back of the machine. That was when I noticed the small service panel near the floor. I had walked past it hundreds of times, but I had never noticed the scratches around the edges. the panel had been forced open. Not from the outside. From behind. Something had pushed its way out from the maintenance space behind the wall. I started thinking about all the strange things people had said about the facility. The workers who quit suddenly. The night employees who claimed they heard footsteps in empty sections of the building. The rumors about old service tunnels underneath the property. I always laughed at those stories. Until that night. I pointed my flashlight into the opening. The tunnel behind the machine was dark. Too dark. Then I heard the vending machine make a noise. The same noise it made when someone bought a snack. The motor, the clicking, the spiral turning. But nobody was standing there. The machine dropped something into the tray. Another tooth. My stomach dropped. Then from behind the wall, I heard something else. A sound that made my blood run cold. A person breathing. I backed away slowly. The thing behind the machine wasn't trying to get out. It was trying to get me closer. It had learned the sound, the routine, the little habits of the people who worked there. It knew exactly how to make someone come back. I ran. I didn't stop until I was outside the building. I never finished that shift. I never went back. People think the most dangerous places are the ones that look abandoned. But sometimes it's the places that look completely normal. A hallway, a break room, a vending machine sitting in the corner. Because when a place is ignored for long enough, you never really know what has been hiding there. And you never know what might be waiting for the next person to walk by.